Welcome back. In this tutorial, we'll continue to discuss event preparation by covering bidding stations. Bidding stations are only available in the Ready Set Auction Complete plan, so if you're using a lower level plan, you can skip this video. In this tutorial, we'll cover what bidding stations are and why your organization should make them available at your event, and how to configure bidding stations for your fundraiser. In a later tutorial, we'll discuss exactly how bidding stations work, that is, how guests without their own smartphones can use bidding stations instead. A computer, laptop, or tablet becomes a bidding station when you configure its web browser to use a special version of your event website, a version multiple bidders can share. On a bidding station, guests can register for electronic bidding, place electronic bids or make fixed price purchases, and view the status of the items they've placed bids on or purchased in the e-catalog. You can set up as many bidding stations as you'd like throughout your event venue to allow guests who don't have a smartphone to participate in your online auction. We recommend you have one bidding station available for every 5 to 10 bidders who don't have their own devices. Use laptops as bidding stations if you want to keep them in fixed locations. For example, you might place a bidding station laptop on each silent auction table. On the other hand, tablets as bidding stations are easy for people to pass around while seated for dinner. Having a few bidding station tablets available at check-in is also very useful, something we'll cover in another tutorial. Despite the multi-user nature of bidding stations, they are private and secure. Here's why. First, a bidding station prompts each user to enter a bidding PIN every time they bid or buy at the station. Second, a bidding station will automatically log out the last bidder and return to the home page after a few minutes of inactivity. So, if a bidder leaves a bidding station without logging out, either the bidding station will have logged him out automatically by the time the next bidder steps up, or that new bidder will be told her PIN doesn't match when she tries to bid or purchase. In the latter case, she can log out the last user and then log back in as herself. Setting up bidding stations is a straightforward two-part process. First, you turn them on in the control center, then you set up as many devices as you want to run the bidding station version of your event website. Your administrator turns on bidding stations in the Event Settings tab of the Control Center's Admin area, under the Bidding Stations third level tab. There are three options that can be enabled for bidding stations. The first option is whether to enable bidding stations, which of course you'll want to check. From there, you can decide whether you want to allow guests to register online as bidders at bidding stations. We recommend checking this one as well. It lets guests who don't have smartphones and who didn't set up their bidding accounts in advance still bid electronically when they arrive. If you've checked the second box, you'll have one last choice to make: whether to require that a bidder first check in through the check-in process under the Add Event tab before he can set up his bidding account at a bidding station. If this box is not checked, any guest can walk up to a bidding station and register to bid, regardless of whether he's been checked in by the committee first. Once you're done here, click the Update Bidding Station Options button to save your changes. You perform the second part of bidding station setup on the equipment that will be running your bidding stations. The instructions are covered in detail on the same page where you turned bidding stations on. Just open a web browser on the devices that will be acting as bidding stations and go to this web address. Once there, enter your event's access code into the field on the page and click the button. That's it. This device is now a bidding station, ready to be used by your guests. The devices you set up this way will automatically lose their bidding station status after 48 hours, so setup of bidding stations is something best left to the hours leading up to your event. If you want to manually disable a bidding station, follow the steps at the bottom of the bidding station setup page. It's exactly the same process as turning a device into a bidding station, but with the opposite result. If you do it on a device that's already a bidding station, it will cease to be one. That wraps up our intro into what bidding stations are and how to configure them. In later tutorials, we delve into more details about how to use bidding stations at check-in, and how people place bids on bidding stations. If you have any questions after watching one of these tutorial videos, or about anything related to Radius at Auction, don't hesitate to contact our support team.